When I was an undergraduate, reading Paradiso for the first time, I had no idea what any of it meant. To me, every canto in Paradise was like a giant riddle filled with names and places I couldn't visualize. But Canto 19 of Paradiso provides one of the clearest images in the third realm, a flaming eagle with a ruby eye. Granted, we struggle to envision what an eagle made of fiery souls would look like, especially when we get to Canto 20 and the eyebrow starts talking. But at this point, only the eagle speaks to us. This is an image that is easier to comprehend. So, why an eagle? We are in the realm of Jupiter, so called because of the great Roman god who ruled the other gods. It is the circle of justice, where emperors and monarchs will witness to Dante. In this sphere of heaven, the eagle symbolizes Dante's ideal earthly kingdom, the Roman Empire. In ancient myths, the eagle carries souls into immortality where Jupiter judges them. In scriptures, God calls himself an eagle who liberates his people, cares for them, and carries them. In Canto 9 of Purgatory, an eagle, wings spread wide, intent to fall for prey, fell and swept Dante upward to this rings of fire. This eagle is actually St. Lucy, moving Dante higher up the mountain by divine intervention. But Dante imagines her in his dream like an eagle, burning aflame. The salvific nature of the eagle is compared to Christ, who came from heaven to catch souls just as the eagle catches fish. For the medieval mind, the eagle represented Christ, who could look directly at God the way an eagle stares into the sun. In addition to carrying souls toward freedom, the eagle possessed vision that surpassed those limited on earth. As much as the eagle symbolizes worldly power, it also invokes internal destiny. This paradoxical image thus unites the earthly things with the things of God. Dante's question in Canto 19 is about the paradox between earthly and eternal notions of justice. How does a just God permit injustice on earth? When Dante began his journey in Canto 3 of Inferno, he walked beneath gates that claimed divine justice made hell. Dante's response, like many honest readers, is, "Their sense is hard for me." Yet, as Dante ventured through the dark realms below the earth, he learned more about justice, so that by Canto 19 of Inferno, he praises God's justice. How justly do you apportion all? Within this circle of simony, Dante spoke with a pope, a damning, not a refining fire, and they discussed earthly idols that distract popes from heavenly ends. Similarly, in Canto 19 of Purgatorio, Dante dialogued with another pope, this one was repentant, who explained the reason for his contrapasso. Just as we, he says, did not lift our eyes on high, but set our sight on earthly things. Instead, so justice here impels our eyes towards earth. Like the devil Mammon from Milton's Paradise Lost, who stared longingly over the gold bricks in the floor of heaven, so these penitents' eyes are glued to the ground until God frees their souls for higher vision. Now, in Canto 19 of Paradiso, we move from studying injustice, which has come about by these earthly rulers' focus on earthly ends, toward the ideal of justice, which turns our eyes upwards. Notice how the conversation differs from every other one in the Divine Comedy. There is no singular soul speaking in this canto. Rather, Dante describes the eagle's beak expresses itself in words like I and mine when we and ours were in its mind intent. The varied souls unite into one, exhibiting to Dante that justice is a matter of many being as one, e pluribus unum. Dante emphasizes the many within the one. As flames of many built-up embers send one warmth, one light, so came one sound alone from all the many loves. The eagle shows how the various souls each receive a portion within the whole, and this uniting of many exemplifies justice. When Dante asks his questions about justice, he is speaking not as a mere philosophical exercise, but from personal concern. His initial charge against the injustice in the church stems from his own situation. How can a just God allow an unjust pope like Boniface VIII, to exile Dante, who is God's servant? Secondly, if God is so just, why are just pagans like Virgil, whom he loved, condemned to limbo? These questions worry Dante, as they continue to concern many of us. The eagle's answer echoes the biblical prophets and apostles. Who do you think you are to talk back to God? Quips Paul to the Romans. And so too responds the eagle. Now, who are you to perch upon your bench and judge of things 1,000 miles away, who can't see any farther than span? Our human vision is bound, the eagle continues. Thus we cannot see the brightness of the sun, nor the bottom of the sea, the way an eagle can. Metaphorically, human understandings of justice cannot see the whole of history into eternity. What seems unjust to a human being may be just within a brighter, fuller vision of things. The warning of these 3 Canto 19s across the Divine Comedy is not to be so overcome by our earthly conceptions of justice that we forego the higher divine reality of justice. The eagle exclaims, "O living souls of earth, minds thick with mist, what in itself is good, the primal will, never moves from itself the highest good. All things are just, as chiming with this will." By the conclusion of this journey, Dante's vision will be clearer, and his will be turned by the love that moves the sun and other stars. Until that time, Dante ventures on, increasing in his knowledge of and desire for the one just ruler.